All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us again on the Live Ready Fitness podcast. I am with my co-host here, Heidi. Hi, Heidi.
Hi.
So we're going to talk about eating healthy and not losing weight. And this was actually a question that was brought to our attention by one of our coaches, Coach Samantha. We actually have a running list of constant questions that we get. And that's one of the ways that we figure out how to build content and more things to be able to offer you guys. So a big question was eating healthy and not losing weight.
Yeah. Also, big shout out to Coach Samantha for making that list.
Yes. Yeah. And our accountability coach, Ida, she's doing the same thing. So,
Yep.
all right. So first of all, let's dive right into this. The first question when you talk about eating healthy and not losing weight is, are you actually eating healthy, and what does that consist of, and what does that mean? Too often we have people come in here for consultations and we ask them what they're eating, and their first response is, I'm eating healthy. Yeah, I'm eating healthy. Which that's a pretty blanket statement. And one of the things that we do is we quickly ask them and break down what they're eating. So the first thing I want to be clear about is healthy eating is, I think that's different for everybody.
Yeah, it's subjective.
Right, because everybody's body needs different things. So the simplest way I think we can define healthy eating is by the 3 rules that we basically teach everybody, which is, are you eating mainly real foods? Are you eating the correct amount? And is it mostly plant-based? I think it's really easy when you're plant-based, like you're plant-based or you hear plant-based, to not eat enough calories. Because how many calories are in a salad?
Oh, like 80.
Yeah, if that. It's like if you throw dressing
That's
on
with
there.
the dressing.
Right. And so a lot of people are thinking, I'm just going to eat a salad or I'm going to eat a lot of vegetables, and that's what eating healthy is. And that can work against you because you could be in a massive caloric deficit, and that's going to make a whole bunch of bad things happen, to include not necessarily losing the weight like you want to lose it. So making sure that you're eating the correct amount of food, the correct quality of food is going to be super important. And then making sure that when you do that, you're in a proper caloric deficit, because you do need to be in a caloric deficit, which means you need to be eating less calories than what your body needs to function perfectly. So that's having to draw from your body's fat in order to make up for that energy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but
Okay.
what's like a proper versus an improper?
So a proper caloric deficit is going to take a couple of things into account. It's going to be, what is your daily activity look like? Are you more active during the day? Do you work out constantly? Are you seated? So your activity is going to play a huge factor. If you're burning daily, you're burning 2,000 or 3,000 calories a day just from activity, then you wouldn't be eating 1,500, 1,600 calories, because you're not even coming close to covering that energy. And that would be over a 50% caloric deficit, which you're going to feel tired a lot. That's when all these bad things start happening, and that's too much. So I would say my rule is, when I have clients at the extreme side, we do a 30% caloric deficit. I don't take anybody past 30% of what the calories they need for the day. Now, that's getting a little bit technical as far as calories and things like that. But if you need more information, feel free to message us, and we can tell you how to figure out how many calories you actually need. But just know that when you're eating healthy and trying to lose weight, you shouldn't be absolutely starving.
What?
Yeah, if you're starving, like irritable and tired and all of those things, then that's probably a little bit too much. And this is also assuming that you were eating the correct amount of food. Let's say you had the correct, like you were only doing a 300 calorie deficit or something like that. That would assume that your body had no metabolic adaptations, which means you didn't starve yourself prior to this for a really long time. You weren't eating 800 calories for the last 4 or 5 years, and your body has adapted to that situation. There's no hormonal imbalances. You don't have any other thing that are going on that would affect your ability to lose weight. If you were in the proper deficit, then you would start to see a little bit of weight loss.
Yeah, I think another thing to think about if you're trying to lose weight and you're eating, quote, healthy and you're meeting all these things that Elliot just talked about is how often are you actually weighing yourself? I think it's really easy for us, myself included, to like get on the scale every single day because we have to make sure that we're working towards whatever it is that we want to work towards. In reality, that's not just not helpful, it's actually not healthy either. It leads to like really obsessive behavior. It is an obsessive behavior. And so what we tell our clients to do is look at the trend. Don't get on the scale every day because your weight is going to fluctuate. It fluctuates throughout the day. It's going to fluctuate depending on, what you ate. Did you sleep? Did you work out yesterday? You could be up in weight because of your workout from the day before. But really looking at the trend on the scale. Are you trending towards whatever you want to be, whether that's up or down over time? So what I try to do and what I try to tell people to do is get on the scale once or twice a month, not more than that.
Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right. I'm a big fan of not getting on the scale all of the time and giving your body a chance. But my caveat to that is if you are one of the people that you're like, I have to get on the scale, I'm not throwing it out, like it's just a thing I do, you still should be looking for a trend. If you were to put that on a little bar graph, is the line going down? Right now, we'll get into other reasons why that might not be moving. But I have a client. Actually, we were having this conversation yesterday, and not yesterday, Friday, and she was telling me that she does weigh every day. And before I could jump in and say exactly what you said, she was like, I do that because I want to be able to see the fluctuations, and I input them in this little app that she has, and it actually shows her the line trending down. So for her, that was a way to tell herself it's okay if it goes up and down, because I know that the trend is going the right direction, which I thought was absolutely awesome. So another thing that could actually be happening while you're trying to figure out why you're not losing any weight is, are you working out or are you just trying to lose weight by changing your diet? If you are working out, the chances are that you're going to start putting on some muscle, especially if you're new to working out. If you're in your first year, 2 years of working out, you're actually going to put on muscle pretty quickly. And we see this all the time. And so one of the ways that you can try to figure that out is by measuring your success from something besides the scale. Because the scale is not going to tell you, did I put 3 or 4 pounds of muscle on?
Yep.
And so one of the ways that we use is we do scans. So we use our little in-body scanner, and even though it's not the absolute most accurate, you could go into a bod pod, you could do the water displacement test, you can do a whole bunch of different things to tell you if you are actually how much muscle you're putting on. But it's just like the scale. When we do the scan, we look for trends, and we look for, did this person put on a little bit more muscle? And maybe that's the reason why their weight is not moving as much as they think. Now, not only are they going to see it in a scan, but you're going to be able to feel that in your clothes. So if you feel like your waist is getting smaller, and then maybe your legs are not necessarily fitting in the pants or things like that. I know for guys it's a problem. I don't know. Is that a problem for girls?
Not in weight loss.
Okay, so yeah, for guys, if you're putting on weight, the jeans get real loose up top, and then you can't fit your legs in there. That's always a good sign.
That's a problem for girls. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, that should be a problem.
It is.
And then the other way is to take pictures. I am a big, huge fan of taking pictures because it really is going to show so much. You're going to be able to see such a body composition change. And even though you don't see the weight going down, or maybe the scanner's just not working well that day, the picture is not going to lie.
Right.
You're gonna be able to see pretty clearly. Did my stomach go down? Am I losing weight on my my love handles, my back, my hips, my legs? You're gonna be able to see all of that stuff really clearly in a picture. Just my advice is, when you take the pictures, make sure that you can actually see you're wearing something that you could actually see change in, because if not, then
don't wear a sweatshirt.
Yeah, don't wear a sweatshirt or baggy t-shirt or something.
You don't have to show anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good. Another thing that we like to think about is, are you sleeping, and are you getting quality sleep, and what's your quantity of sleep like? We see so many people who are like, I sleep 5 hours a night. I'm too busy to sleep. I have to work out more and I can't sleep that much. We actually just did a reel about that on our Instagram if you want to go ahead and follow us. But yeah, we tell people like you need 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. And it's not just us telling people, that's like common knowledge, but your body needs to recover. We burn fat in our sleep. So if we're not sleeping, we're not going to be burning enough fat to lose weight. So 7 to 8 hours, like make that a priority, you guys. Do yourself a favor and do everyone around you a favor too, and just get enough sleep.
Yeah, that's one of the first questions I ask people when they're like, "Oh, I haven't lost weight." That really goes hand in hand with the next thing we're going to talk about, which is stress. When you don't sleep, you're causing stress on your body. Your body doesn't have enough energy to get enough recovery to be at its best, and that's going to put you in a state of stress. I mean, we've all felt it where we've gotten 3 or 4 hours of sleep and we're irritable, we can't function right, we don't feel our best, and that's going to cause some stress. And then just stress in general. Like, are you taking time for yourself? Are you taking time to relax? Are you doing things that are going to calm your body down so that it's not in a constant state of stress? Guys, I think people underestimate how much stress actually affects your body.
Or how much stress we're under all the time.
Right. Constantly. That there is nobody that right now, if you're like, oh, I'm just never stressed, that's not.
You're lying.
Right. Because in reality, if you're coming to the gym, that is a type of stress. It's a controlled stress, but you're still putting a stress on your body, which is why when outside of them just being tired, but if someone doesn't get a good amount of sleep the night before, we tell them, hey, it's totally okay to take the day off and let your body relax and recover. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't, the opposite effect's going to happen. Your body is when your body is stressed, it's not really worried about burning fat, right? And I can get into like the whole the science behind it, but just know that it's not. It's worried about keeping you breathing, keeping your heartbeat, mm-hmm. keeping you alive, because that's what your body's thinking is, I'm stressed, I'm just trying to stay alive. Mm-hmm. So it's not really like, oh, let me burn this fat that I have on me. And so you want to make sure that you really take the time to relax, get some sleep, find 3 hours accumulated during the week to give you time. Mm-hmm. And the other thing that's going to do is also decrease the inflammation in your body. Which can also disguise itself as weight gain.
I think along that lines, let's talk about recovery. So recovery from specific workouts. Again, we see a lot of people who are like, I work out 6 days a week, 7 days a week, even 5 days a week. And we don't do that. I would never do that. Please don't do that. Our bodies need to recover. Again, it's getting rid of inflammation. We're working our bodies really hard when we work out. So give it time to recover. If you're sore, you don't need to work out the next day. It's okay. Take a day, eat enough food, eat your protein, recover well, and then you can continue to work out well.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you're somebody who works out 7 days a week, 6-7 days a week, that's your call. But if you're like a competitor, we could understand that. But understand that as a competitor, you do things that a normal person that's working out doesn't need to do. You sacrifice certain things, which one of those is your recovery and your sleep. And I hate to say it, and competitors know this, you're going to pay for it down the line. Mm-hmm. But if you're just looking to like lose weight, work out, there's really no need to be going, 100%. It's our 6-7 days a week that you need that rest time for the longevity and be able to do this for a long time.
Yeah, and I think another thing, and this is talking to females, we'll just blanket statement this, but if you are getting on the scale every single day, just know, like, if it's that time of the month, your weight's going to fluctuate and it's probably going to go up. You're going to retain water. It's just part of it for us, so.
All right, guys, so that's most of the things that's going to cause you to possibly not be losing weight. If you are doing everything correctly, so you're eating the right amounts, you've talked to a nutrition coach, or how to figure out your amount, you're doing the quality of food really well, your stress is down, you're relaxed, you're recovering, you're sleeping, you check marked everything we just talked about, and you're still not losing weight. Now, of course, give yourself time. A healthy weight loss is 4 to 8 pounds a month. I don't care what anyone else tells you. You might lose a little bit more if you started a little bit higher. That's fine. But 4 to 8 pounds a month is sustainable. And then also, if you lose weight that way, it's a lot harder to gain back because you lost it healthy the right way. Okay. But if you check marked all of those things, then the next thing to do is to really just go get your hormone levels checked. Mm-hmm. And for that, you want to be really working with a nutrition coach, a dietitian, a doctor, to see if there's anything that's causing you to possibly not be able to lose weight or put on weight a little bit easier. Now, I'm not saying that if you do have hormonal issues, that's like it's a lost cause. That just means that it's going to make things a little bit harder, and you may need to make some adjustments with the types of food you're eating, the types of working out you're doing, and things like that. So at that point, then yeah, we would recommend seeking like a higher help. And again, if you talk to a coach or a nutrition coach or a fitness coach, they'll usually be able to help you with something like that. All right, guys, I think we covered it all.
I think so.
Yeah. So again, if you need any help, you have any questions about any of this stuff, feel free to drop comments. Check us out on all our social media. I'm not going to have Heidi rattle it off today, but check out all our social media. Just search Live Ready Fitness, and we'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have about this. And again, we really, really appreciate you listening. So give us a like, a follow, a comment, and it really, really means a lot to us because it helps us to grow this podcast that we're hoping to be able to help a lot more people. All right. Thanks, guys.